February has been declared Frequently Asked Real Estate Questions Month here at Weichert Thousand Islands Realty. My name is Chandra Beach, and I'm a licensed real estate salesperson, and I'm joined by Melanie Curley, owner and broker. Hello, Melanie.
Hello.
So today's question, I actually was asked it last week by a potential buyer, or potential seller rather. What is the deal with flood insurance?
Great question. Whether you're a buyer or a seller, it's really important to know if the property that you either own or you're thinking about buying is in a special flood hazard area. Oftentimes, a seller, when we go on a listing appointment, will say, oh my gosh, if my house ever floods, the world's in trouble. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're not in a flood zone. We have had cases where sellers don't have flood insurance, but they don't have a mortgage, so nobody's told them they need it. And we actually had two houses listed right next door to each other. One was very low to the water. The other one was very high. When we did flood certifications, the low one was not in a special flood hazard area, but the high one was.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
So if you find that you are in a special flood hazard area, don't despair, because you can call a surveyor and ask for an elevation certificate. And then what the surveyor does, they have a pretty good idea of what elevation is going to be high enough to get you out of the special flood hazard area. So then they would apply for a LOMA, which is a letter of map amendment. Now, if you're buying a home and if you're getting a mortgage, the lender is absolutely going to do a flood cert. And you don't want to find out a month into it that you're in a flood zone. So if you're working with one of our agents, you're ready to put an offer on a property, that agent can probably do a flood certification for you. The bank sometimes is different, but most of the time it works out. You can also make your offer contingent upon it not being in a flood zone, or if it is in a flood zone, that insurance would be X number of dollars or less.
Oh, good to know.
If you're a seller, I highly recommend that you get the flood certification done before you list. And then if we find out you are in a flood zone, we can go ahead and get the elevation certificate and the LOMA process going. So that just saves everybody money, saves headaches down the road.
Definitely. Speaking of money, how much is flood insurance typically?
Oh, that's high.
Is it?
It is high.
Okay.
I think they do it depending on the value of the home. But that's in addition to your other hazard insurance. So most buyers are going to want to try to steer away from flood insurance if they can. Sometimes if you can't get out of the flood zone, but the insurance company thinks that you're high enough based on the elevation certificate, they give you a better rate. So if they look at the likelihood of it flooding and it's high enough and they think the likelihood is low, you'll probably get a better rate. But with insurance questions, ask your insurance agent.
Yes, ask your insurance agent for insurance questions, but for anything real estate related, please give us a call here at Weichert. We'd be more than happy to help you out with any questions you may have. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you, Chandra.
You're very welcome, and have a great day.